Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Purpose Driven Live Sports, and I'm back here for another NBA video. So, last night, Rockets and Warriors. Now, I'm not here to say I told you so, because, as you guys know, I'm a humble guy. I'm not one to rub things in, but I gotta tell you guys, I told you so. And the thing that really did not surprise me was the fact that Klay Thompson came out and played the way he did in the first half. What did surprise me was Steph Curry had 0 points. I thought he would have a big game, which ended up he did actually have a big game. So it's not like I was wrong. It's just in the second half is when he really got kickstarted. And the reason why that was because everybody knows he fouled 3 times really in the first half. So it's going to take you out of your rhythm. He didn't even play the whole first quarter. So that part was not great for him. He only played half the second quarter because he got his third foul halfway through the second with like 4 minutes left. So that part also didn't help him. So when you're taking out your rhythm early, I would think that tends to throw your game off. He came out and had 10 points in the third quarter. Then he came out and had 23 in the fourth quarter. So to me, at this point, there's nothing you can really say about Steph Curry. I think you can really put those claims to rest because when it really counted, when this team really needed him, he had to step up. They were down by 7 in the fourth quarter going in. So at this moment, when I saw they were down 89-82, actually, I was never worried in the game. When you keep it in striking distance like Golden State can, anything can turn. And the fact that Steph Curry turned the game around just by shooting alone, you could see everybody. You saw Jay-Z and Beyonce there. I think they knew once he hit that first three, that deep three was from 30 feet. I think everybody knew this was going to be Steph Curry's night. Because like I said, he had 10 in the third. I'm also gonna do this. Houston to me, they're going to get a bad rap, as they should. Because like everybody says, they should get a bad rap for this. Because how do you let an undermanned team, a team that relies on Kevin Durant, beat you when you got Chris Paul, who was healthy, who had an excellent game? You have James Harden also at 35. James and CP both had over 27. CP had 27. How do you let a team like that beat you? You out-rebounded them by 5. I'm pretty sure they won the free throw battle. How does that happen? They made one more 3. They basically shot the same percentage. They made the same amount of field goals. How does it happen? I already told you guys in the last video that they're both a team that does not play a lot of guys off the bench. Golden State went 11 deep in this game. They relied on guys that did not play pretty much at all in this series like I said they would. I actually had a small prediction that Andrew Bogut would play, and I was right. Because I think what Steve Kerr wanted was an inside presence early in the game, but also a guy who can rebound, a smart defender. That's what Andrew Bogut brings. Now, did he play in the second half a lot? I don't believe he did play a lot in the second half. But Jordan Bell came up big. I think he had an alley-oop dunk. He made 2 free throws. He had 4 points, I think. He was probably getting rebounds. And he was not fouling. That's when you got guys who come off the bench and foul, then you start to worry. But these guys came off the bench and didn't foul. That's what really gave Golden State the edge to me, was because they had guys who did not play in the series, but they came off the bench and gave them points. They gave them rebounds. They gave them assists. They moved the ball. This Steve Kerr probably coached one of his best games. I think this is probably, if not his best, one of his top 3. I think this is his best game he's ever coached. Because going into this game, essentially nobody really picked Golden State to win. Everybody said they wouldn't be surprised, but you know what that means. They're picking Houston. Golden State came out and they wanted it. I think they wanted to prove to everybody that they wanted it. I also told you guys the pick and roll situation was going to be huge because I remember we talked about this. I remember I said this. They were going to probably trap Steph Curry off the Draymond Green pick and roll. Like I said, whenever Draymond Green's in the middle of that floor, Draymond Green's got options. And what I noticed that he loves to do is he loves to get to the rim first, and then he finds people. Guys are open. I remember this one play. I think it was the play where Klay Thompson basically sealed the game. When he drove to the basket, he got 2 guys to come at him at the rim. He dumped it over to Iguodala in the corner. Klay Thompson was open. Iguodala hit it to Klay. Klay shoots it, scores. They're up by 6. Game over. Because it's the ball movement that kills. I've said that Kevin Durant, is a guy that really puts him over the top, but the ball tends to stick. And there are certain amounts. There's times in the shot clock when they're not scoring or when guys aren't getting open that he tends to go 1-on-1. When he's not there, that goes out the window. The ball never sticks. The ball moves, and I saw it the whole game. There were times when they did get stagnant because they would double Steph and Klay off of a screen. That guys actually backdoored, like I said. Guys were slipping. Draymond Green was slipping picks, like I said, because when you want to trap Steph Curry or when you want to play off of those screens, you guys have to slip, and they slip those pick and rolls. It's excellent. And from Houston's side, and I think you guys are watching SportsCenter. If you did watch SportsCenter, you heard everybody saying if you're tied at 57 at halftime, you're not playing the game right. Golden and Houston, everybody said Houston should have been up by 15. Maybe you're right, but and Houston, to their credit, they were making shots. So how are they not up by 15? I don't know what I can really tell you guys. All I can really say is that Klay Thompson is really the only answer I got. Klay Thompson Game 6 is a real thing. You guys remember Game 6 last year in the Western Conference Finals. He single-handedly was probably the other reason besides Steph Curry getting hot in that game too, the reason why the Warriors survived. And this year, once again, that first half, 21 points in the first half, it's the reason why this game was not a 15-point lead for Houston. As much as, like I said, I want to blame James Harden, I don't even want to blame James Harden or Chris Paul. The fact is, I'm going to have to go with their coach. This team is really shorthanded because they don't really have guys they can too much trust off the bench. And then you don't trust a guy in. How do you bring in Kenneth Faried, but you don't play him? How do you bring in? They played Austin Rivers heavily. They played Iman Shumpert a lot of minutes. Gerald Green got minutes off the bench. It's questionable decisions by their coach that makes you wonder, how does this system even work? So, I mean, like I told you guys, there's not much I can say. I mean, I watched the game and I was not shocked. I picked Golden State to win. But it's so weird how the things I thought were going to work, Golden State played everything out like I thought they would. There were times when Houston really could have pulled away. How are you up by 7 at the beginning of the fourth and you don't pull away? You have to pull away. Because to me, if they went up by 15, that's a point when they either quit or Steve Kerr's like, wave the white flag, we'll go get him Oracle. We'll take our chances there. No, this team wanted this game. You could tell that they wanted this game. They were not going to quit. Now going forward, I was listening to the radio today, and I agree with this point that Houston doesn't have a lot of options. They're paying Chris Paul and James Harden both $35 million each. Nobody's going to take those contracts. You wouldn't trade James Harden, I would think, because that would be dumb. You can't trade Chris Paul. Nobody's going to want that deal. He's about to turn 35 next year. He's already 34 this year. He's on the downward spiral. I've already seen him take a decline, but do you trust his injury history at this moment in his career? I don't. Clint Capella, he's a guy who's limited to basically lobs, dunks. He's a great rebounder. That's about it. He's a great interior presence on the defensive end. That's about it. So there's not a lot of options for them. They don't really have any first-round picks. They did try to trade for Jimmy Butler. That didn't go through. This Houston team in this system is just it just, to me, they as you can always build your team to beat someone, but they're not always going to beat that team. Look, I'm sorry, guys. I really don't know what to say. Because last night I was excited. I was like, how is everybody just picking Houston all of a sudden? You guys forgot Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. You forgot Andre Iguodala. You forgot this team, this core was there. They just added Kevin Durant to really... That's how you're supposed to build a team. What? I'll just close it out by saying this. Houston's going to feel down, as they should. They did play hard. I'll give Houston that. But the opportunity that they gave Golden State, man, I don't know how Houston really recovers. This is going to eat at them all year, and they could come back and beat Golden State next year. It will never feel the same, because 4 years out of 5 years, this team beat you. They beat you again. They beat you again. And that asterisk that they had last year, well, guess what? You had Chris Paul this year. You can kiss that asterisk out the door, because you had him. You had your whole team healthy. They lost Kevin Durant. They beat you without a Kevin Durant on the floor. You're done. You're done. So that's how I'm going to close this video. I want to thank you guys for listening. That was my analysis on the game last night. You might be wondering why I'm struck for words. I just really don't know how to explain this, because as much as I predicted right. The things I saw that I predicted when I was talking in my video yesterday, they played out as I thought they would. But it's just crazy, because you would think Houston would want to come out and just really demoralize this team. They shot 42% from 3. They made 17 threes. Houston, you scored 113. You're out-rebounding Golden State by 5. How in the hell do you lose this game? I don't get it. I don't get it. James Harden scored 35. He wasn't the most efficient, but it wasn't the worst I've seen him play. Chris Paul had 27. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for listening. This is Purple Driven Live Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video.